Hey guys, I'm Brufio. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are diving into Cubase. I made a new song for Drea, Latin pop singer artist from Germany. We will play a little bit from the new single right now. And then I show you what obstacles I have to overcome and what I did with some EQ moves to help the vocal sit better in the mix. Before we do that, go to brufiomusic.com/gift. You will get amazing free vocal guides. You can get my Cubase template for mixing and production stuff, drum samples. So a lot of cool stuff for free. Go to brufiomusic.com/gift. And now we dive into Cubase. Alright, so that is the session. The song is called Quizas. I think it's for maybe in Spanish. I bounced everything right now so it is easier to follow. We have the verse box and the chorus box. So what the problem was is that Drea could not come to my studio. She lives in a different city, stuff like that. So we had to remote work. She did a mistake and sent me all the vocals with backing vocals on it. And we didn't have time to fix stuff. So I had to do what I had to do and make the best out of it. I'm going to play you now a little bit from, let's say, pre-chorus to chorus, and hopefully you like it.
Tal vez el destino nos dé otra historia. Intenté, pero no logré borrar tu nombre de mi piel. Busqué a alguien igual que tú, pero nadie me amó como tú. No hay otro amor, no hay otro tú. Nadie llena este vacío tan cruel. Fue mi error, lo sé muy bien, pero el tiempo no vuelve tan bien.
That's the track. On the second chorus it's even more impactful. So I'm going to show you now what I did with the vocals.
Y lo sé bien, aunque duele aceptar. Como yo, a ti nadie te va a amar. Si no es en el...
So what you can hear is that the quality of the recording is not that good. So I had to do a lot of stuff to fit that onto the track. That was exactly what I did. So we have this verse vocal here, and what you can immediately hear is that the vocal is a little bit sizzly, it's nasally, it's harsh a little bit. So I want to tame that.
Que explique lo que siente el corazón. Fuiste mi sueño.
Fuiste mi sueño. It's a lot of sibilants.
Fuiste mi sueño. Mi razón. Pero hoy te abrazo en mi imaginación.
But what you can also see is, and you can also hear it, that already compression was applied to the vocal. So you see that the waveform is not stable, but it looks like there was some kind of compression here in the quieter parts. Of course, there are spikes in the higher parts, but you can see that there's some compression. It was, of course, not recorded with like the microphone I have here, U87, good converters, preamps, stuff like that. So I don't want to go in depth into this process, but what I did firstly was an EQ match. What is an EQ match? Is you take a vocal that you like. For example, you have a recording of the U87, or you can have an EQ sound of the room, and you can then go in and EQ match those frequencies to the source that you have. And that's something I did here. It doesn't make a drastic change to the vocal, but I used a Latin pop vocal that I recorded here in the studio and applied the EQ to the vocal of her. And this is what that sounds like.
Fuiste mi sueño. Mi razón, pero hoy te abrazo en mi imaginación. Y lo sé bien, aunque duele aceptar. Como yo, a ti nadie te va a amar.
Okay, so no drastic change. Then I have the Sooth plugin here. This is what that does.
Fuiste mi sueño. mi razón.
Listen to that.
Fuiste mi sueño, fuiste mi sueño.
So Sooth, as the name says it makes everything a little bit rounder, smoother, and you can really tame those picky sounds with Sooth. So what it tries to do is put the frequencies into a linear space, so there are no drastic peaks. You see vocal start pensado, I love that preset, then I just adjust it from there.
Fuiste mi sueño, mi razón.
Listen to that again with Sooth.
Fuiste mi sueño, mi razón. Pero hoy te abrazo en mi imaginación.
We did that and I applied another EQ, and this is where it gets a little bit fancy. You see that the EQ itself there is not the drastic change. 1 dB here, 5 dB here, so that's what we talk about now, and 1.5 dBs on the bass. So these nasally harsh frequencies I tried to tame with a dynamic EQ. And a dynamic EQ is nice because you can really say, okay, only when those frequencies hit from the vocal, you then deduct them. This is far better than just deduct the frequency all the time. What it sounds like is this.
Fuiste mi sueño, mi razón. Pero hoy te abrazo en mi imaginación. Y lo sé bien,
Now,
aunque duele aceptar. Como yo, a ti nadie te va a amar.
when you solo the frequency, you can really hear that this is the frequency. I don't like the frequency. It's really nasally and something I want to get rid of once those frequencies hit. Check that again.
Fuiste mi sueño, mi razón. Aceptar. Como yo, a ti nadie te va a amar. Sin
I would say let's see what we talked about now sounds like together. So first without, you can see here when I'm engaging it.
No hay palabras, no hay canción que explique lo que siente el corazón. Fuiste mi sueño, mi razón. Pero hoy te abrazo en mi imaginación. Y lo sé bien, aunque duele aceptar. Como yo, a ti nadie te va a amar.
So it gets, of course you have to always listen to it in the mix, but I just want to show you what it does. So the vocal gets a little bit cleaner and not that many frequencies are poking out. Let's hear the same thing I did for the chorus.
Intenté, pero no logré borrar tu nombre de mi piel. Busqué a alguien igual que tú, pero nadie me amó como tú. No hay otro amar, no hay otro tú.
Gets a little bit cleaner. It's not like overall. And there we also have the backing vocals, so that was really hard for me. So I then routed them to the bass, to the lead vocal bass, which is here. And now I put in the virtual mix rack.
Intenté, pero no logré borrar tu nombre de mi piel. Busqué a alguien igual que tú, pero nadie me amó como tú. No hay otro amar, no hay otro tú.
So it gets from very bassy to, as I said, again, it gets cleaner. That's what we ultimately want to see. Add some shimmer.
Intenté, pero no logré borrar tu nombre de mi piel. Busqué a alguien igual que tú, pero nadie me amó como tú. No hay otro amar.
A lot of compression because this is a dense mix and we want to have some compression so that the vocal is even, and we need that to stay on top of the mix. And then I added some reverb delays and ambient delays, so quarter delays, ambient delays, because I always do that with some automation. So you see, once I add it here, it comes up and down.
borrar tu nombre de mi piel.
So this is really a drastic difference.
Te veo en todo, en cada lugar. Tu risa suena con la tempestad. Le hablo a la luna, le grito al sol. Pregunto dónde quedó nuestro amor. Si no es en esta vida, quizás en la próxima. Tal vez el destino nos da
Automation.
otra historia. Intenté, pero no logré borrar tu nombre de mi piel. Busqué a alguien igual que tú, pero nadie me amó como tú. No hay otro amor, no hay otro tú. Nadie llena este vacío tan cruel. Fue mi error, lo sé muy bien, pero el tiempo no vuelve tan bien.
Yes. Okay guys, so hope that helps. Gives you a little bit of an insight what I did with this vocal here. Yeah, it was not easy because poor recording. Backings were in the lead vocal. There was already some effects applied, compression, EQ, and so I had to even it out, make it poke out a little bit of the mix, duck the frequencies that we didn't like or that I did not like, apply some effects so they sound good, made some automation, and now I think it's a very nice song. You can listen to it on Spotify, YouTube Music, Apple Music, everywhere. It's called Drea. I think Quizas, and she named it Quizas with some other words. I don't know the Spanish words, but that's it. Listen to Quizas from Drea, and we see us in the next one. Go to brufiomusic.com/gift and get your free stuff, free recording sources, drum sample packs, Cubase mix templates, everything. Peace out.